For a moment of silence. Would you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Pat, I'm taking the roll. First item on the agenda is public comment. Would anyone care to address the village board this evening? Yes, ma'am.
Could you just call my name right off?
Okay, sure, honey.
We're going to make this lighthearted because I might not stick around for the whole thing.
Okay.
Despite the fact that I've been a pain in your guys' you know what, I brought you all a little gift. I want to thank you all very much for what you do. I want to thank you for tolerating me. Okay? No, I got a special one for you. I'm going to test your sense of humor.
Okay.
Officer Richards, would you test this before we sample?
There you go. There's one for your little helper too. There you go. Now, there is one for... Here you go, honey. All right? Could you turn the camera off for right now because I'm really feeling like an idiot. Okay? Sherry, you little sweetheart. And you're following her all the way, and where'd everybody else go? This is scratchy. You look like you deserve one for not putting my name in your paper all the time. Okay?
Now you'll put it in twice.
All right. Now, Mayor, I'm testing your sense of humor.
Okay.
All right, you got everything they got, but you got some cold too.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
It's just my sense of humor. And
That's
these
fine.
are for Dustin and for the other guys, all right? The only thing I'm asking from you guys for Christmas, talk to me about that ordinance before you go spending a lot of our money, all right? That's it. Get that ordinance on the books, on there, so we can discuss this and get this taken care of, all right?
Okay.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
that's what I
Christmas.
say.
Merry Christmas
All right.
to you.
What ordinance are you talking about?
Huh?
What ordinance are you?
The referendum ordinance,
Yeah.
the bond referendum ordinance.
Bond referendum.
Where they can't spend a lot of money without talking to me and everybody else.
Anyone else this evening? Yes, sir.
Serious?
It won't start out serious.
Get serious.
Okay, get serious.
They need that.
Okay. My name's Harry Lewis. I live on Oxford Drive, and I'm here for two things tonight. One is a thank you, because we came to you, signed petitions about our water drainage problems, and you listened patiently, and you came up with several ideas. And as far as I know from talking with Shane, the ditch line draining that farm field should be happening in the next couple of weeks. And he's been always very helpful and very responsive with replies. So thank you. I'm here for another issue, and I'd like to read to you real briefly from Sierra Magazine, their food issue in March, April. It says, "You are what you plant and harvest and cook and share." So I'm here on behalf of those who are interested in knowing where their food comes from, how it's produced, what goes into it, and I'm here asking you about the possibility of being able to keep 3 to 6 chickens in my backyard. Hens. And I have a contract or a suggestion sheet or an ordinance sheet that would be wise to have everybody be able to do if they were going to do this project.
Thank you.
This is set up to where if there were neighborhood associations ordinances against keeping poultry, those would take the precedence, and you wouldn't be able to override that. Chickens would only be allowed for egg production, and pets, but not for meat or slaughtering. They would only apply to chickens and not to ducks, geese, turkeys, or guineas, because primarily noise issues. Chickens are social creatures. One chicken isn't a happy chicken, so it's asking for hens 3 to 6, or bantams, which are a quarter the size of chickens, 6 to 8 bantam hens. No roosters would be allowed because of noise concerns, neighbors consideration.
That's okay, I get up at 5:30 every morning.
Well, I don't think they would carry down that far. That may help. It's not to be free range. That means chickens wouldn't be running loose in the neighborhood. It would be housed in predator-proof coops and runs.
That's kind of appropriate.
It was.
Did you plan that, Harry?
You would need to allow a certain square footage for the hens, which is typically 8 square foot per hen. I have a large property, so it would be, the coop would be located 20 foot from my neighbor's property, 20 foot from the rear of the property.
Is that standard or is that?
No,
No.
I don't know what the standard is. That I just thought would give enough room from neighbors or issues. I don't have neighbors behind me. I have a park behind me, West Side Park. Soil bedding and droppings would be collected 3 to 5 times a week and composted. I have a large garden and fruit trees. I'd be composting and using that. The eggs would be for consumption by the family, not for resale. Some form of education would need to be done. I was in 4-H for 10 years and had chick production and egg production. If this would apply to other folks, there is ongoing education. There are groups and club meetings from the Sangamon and Nard Extension Service where they have meetings every 2 months. There's hatcheries. On the back of the sheet, it does list, at the time, 19 cities or towns that allow poultry in the city. Our closest one is Springfield, where you can't have a rooster, you can't sell the eggs. They let you know that you're under the jurisdiction of noise complaints, unkept complaints.
Does Springfield, is it citywide that they allow? Okay.
Here, what's your house number?
I'm 848.
846? Okay,
848. And then I did send around a small petition, and this was, if people signed it, it was, I'm interested in maintaining a flock of hens, or I am in support of chickens in Chatham. And the people with stars at the bottom are people adjacent to me or across the street that I could find at home. So if you have any questions or concerns, I'd love to answer those, and I ask for your support on this project.
Do you guys want to talk about it at the next committee meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, before we lock in it, I think we should at least have a discussion.
It's a
Who's that?
clever choice of words.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah, I'll put it, I can add it to,
yeah. Do you want to come back then, or do you
However
think
you'd like to.
we need Harry back to talk about it further? Or?
I mean, if he wants to, you're obviously welcome to join. It'll be most likely the second Tuesday in January is our next committee meeting.
Okay.
And I know I've had other individuals, I know some of the other trustees that have expressed an interest in this.
Jeff, do you have any input?
No,
No.
you'll just, I'm sure you've got some sort of an ordinance on the books right now that prohibits it.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Is it in zoning?
Usually, well,
I don't think it's I didn't think it was a nuisance. Joe, do you remember, was it?
It just, there's ordinance against
yeah,
Just animals?
right.
like anything with dogs or cats, basically, yeah.
Yeah, rabbits were included in that too,
Uh-huh.
if I'm not mistaken.
Goats.
Pig and goats.
We do have sheep at the end of Oxford and Walnut, which I don't believe cause problems. There's sheep out by the junior high. I guess I would like to mention, you hear a lot about poultry or egg production going away from caged birds to, well, not so much free range, but possibly, but a lot of times they're still in enclosures. And this is an example of jam-packed. They're now, in these kind of arrangements, allowed a square foot per bird. So it's not good. And when you're that close, it's just like if we're that close, they tend to be sick a lot, so they're given antibiotic feed all the time.
Do hens make any kind of noise at all?
Hens do. It varies from breed to breed. Mediterranean breeds, like some of the Leghorns, which are the big-time egg producers, are your noisiest. Calmer, bigger breeds tend to not be as noisy, and that would be an issue. And I would probably stay away from those just because they're.
That might be a thought then, is add that in of which breeds, bring that maybe to the next meeting, or noisier versus not. Thanks, Harry.
Any other questions?
The only other question I have is regarding the smell. Would there be a smell to this, or?
When I've had birds before, especially these small amounts, and you're collecting droppings on a daily or every 2-day basis and composting those with browns, which are, leaves and straw and grass, there aren't odor problems.
Okay. That's something that we might want to just make sure it's.
Well, that's what he put on here as well.
Yeah, and you could expand that on
Yeah.
the composting statement. The cities and towns that have allowed poultry to be kept are all over the place on the complexity of rules. This set of rules would be fairly complex for people. But what I ran into was people didn't want roosters, people didn't want chickens running loose, and people had faith that I would take care of them. There is a lot of education that needs to go on, so people know how to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Okay. Oh, Joe, do you have?
Yeah, I want to talk about. I just want to talk about a residence on Ramblewood and Meadowview.
Okay.
That I live
Yeah.
next to, and this has been going on for almost 2 years now. And I did talk to Pat, and he told me that there was something sent to the county court, but then it came back something that didn't go through. But this has been going on for a couple of years, and my concern is why it went on for this long. Why we waited 20 months to finally think about this. It gets worse
Jeff, do you-
every
Is
week.
this one we're waiting on service for? Yeah, I think we're just waiting on trying to get service of the individual at this point. It's been filed in court, we're just trying to
Okay.
serve the guy.
Okay, so we'll,
Okay, but I just,
How far along, I mean,
I'm concerned about how long it
what do you
took
think
to
the
do
time
this.
frame is estimated?
Well, Pat and I were talking, we've got some alternative service ideas. We're gonna have to get a private process server and potentially, use the police here, so.
does the person live in Chatham?
Yeah.
I mean, they're here, they are.
Yeah, oh yeah. But this gets worse almost on a daily basis, things are hauled in here.
Okay.
And me with my background, I
Yes.
hear from my
Yep.
neighbors on why this keeps going on, so finally.
He said this has been going on for 2 years now?
Uh-huh.
But, okay.
Yeah, I know he got a letter, because he told me about it a couple of years ago, about cleaning it up. And when he got that, apparently it made him mad, so he started really hauling stuff in.
Yeah.
And we got huge things hanging from the trees with ropes on, I don't know what all this is.
Well, an action has been filed in court, so we're just now get that process moving and.
A lot of this started when John Myers was the attorney, and then when he was leaving, some of it got dropped, and then when we got our new attorneys in, it got picked back up again. That's where it's at right now. It did go through our internal court system. Gentleman failed to show up. He was cited again, and then that's when they decided to take him to circuit court. So,
We'll get a,
And then, Joe, he has his cab outside on his,
What's that?
he has his cab out there too, right? The truck?
No, the truck, I haven't seen the truck for a while.
Okay.
I don't know what that thing is in the back, it's almost like a railroad car hauled in there. I'm not sure what it is. And it's got logs piled on top of it, huge logs.
okay, mayor's comments. I do have some good news, but I'm going to defer to Joe because the municipal league staff, Joe was part of it. They worked on it at the General Assembly.
Sure. On Monday, the Senate approved the legislation to release the funds for the motor fuel tax, for casinos, for the use tax, and for video gaming, and the lottery. So if you won over $600, you now get your money. What that means to Chatham, if I remember my numbers correctly, is about $130,000 that has been released, that will be coming our way likely within the next few weeks. It might be more than that, but we'll be getting our money soon. And that's good news, because I know that gets us more money for the MFT, and we can get going on our MFT plan, so I think that's good. We will now have the money in the video gaming. I know we've been talking about what we want to do exactly with that money, so we'll have that as
So
well.
we can actually talk about it, and then,
And actually have money in there.
yeah, about salt. Where are we at on salt?
Salt,
Yeah,
we got salt ordered, haven't had to use any yet. Our salt dome is full.
so, okay.
No.
And,
Pat, have we had to expend any money that would normally be an MFT expenditure in which we didn't have the MFT money available?
no,
Okay, good.
Okay.
because we didn't do an MFT program this year.
Yeah,
You know,
I was just wondering if there was
We got that
any-
money back so that we would have a larger program.
yeah, I
this
just
year.
wanted to make sure there wasn't money that we paid like salt out of the general revenue fund because we didn't have the
Well,
MFT money, but,
some of the salt, but that was from the previous MFT program.
Yeah.
Or the one this year.
yeah, but we've always used what was in the MFT piggy bank and not the general revenue piggy
Yeah.
bank.
Okay, that's good news. Ken, could I have a motion to put the consent agenda on
We
the
need
table?
to get authorize Mark to participate via phone for,
Okay,
I'll make that motion. Second.
and the reason is business.
I assume that's the reason. Is that
Is that
trustee Clayton?
our business?
I'm here, but I can barely hear you guys.
Okay.
Is the absent due to business?
Mark, are you working?
Mark, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay,
Are you working on business?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are you on business?
Are you missing the meeting because of work?
are you missing the meeting because of work?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, moving on.
So we got a
Second, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wait a
So
minute.
Mark,
Don't get ahead of me.
okay.
We just wanted to make sure you could have,
Well, you have to
Okay,
say the reason.
who made the motion?
Ken.
no, Dave.
Dave.
Dave made the motion, Ken second.
Okay. Okay, can I have okay, so motion to put the consent agenda on the table for consideration.
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
In discussion, I think some things were clarified. Maybe Vern, you can answer this. There was a question that came, it was later today, when we were talking about the police truck. There were 2 sets of tires purchased for it, like 2 different sets of tires, and just a citizen inquired about why we had purchased 2 sets of tires for that. Do you know? Can you just, and that's fine, just look in, if you just want to shoot me an email after you look into
I
it.
have no idea. We purchased 2 additional tires?
No, I think 2 different sets of tires for it is the way it,
One of them snow tires?
I don't know.
The only thing we did as far as the warrants, I mean, we did do some, we broke down a tire from an old rim to put on a new tire so we could use it as a spare. No, we didn't purchase any additional tires. I think we purchased. Not sure what
That's
else.
just, if you want to talk to Sherry and just see, and that's fine, shoot me an email or whatever, so I can reply. All right, that's all coming on there.
Joe?
I'm sorry, I just got a message saying Matt is sick tonight and he won't be attending.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, Pat, would you take the vote, please?
Trustee Kimsey.
Yes.
Walden.
Yes.
Lenhorst.
Yes.
And Swann.
Clayton?
You can
Oh,
vote?
that's right. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mark.
Mark, please vote again.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, old business, the calendar.
Yes, I'll make a motion to put the ordinance setting the village board meetings for the calendar year 2016 on the table.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
This would adjust the meetings to where we would go to having a committee meeting on the second Tuesday of the month and the regular board meeting on the fourth Tuesday of each month. obviously we'll still be able to have the ability to call special meetings if need be.
Okay,
I'd like to, I want to offer an amendment to this one, I'll pass that around. What I propose here is an amendment to the compensation section for village officials. Knowing this can't take effect in current terms, the effective date kind of phases in as each position is raised. But it shifts to a per meeting pay as opposed to a monthly pay. And seeing as we cut the meetings in half, it sets that at, currently we set it 6,000 on 46 meetings a month. This is 3,000 based on 23 meetings a month, and any additional meeting needed would be compensated at that rate.
I think we would need to have this specifically on the agenda so people would be aware of it, since this isn't directly related to the changing the meeting times. Would it be a concern to do this at the meeting in January, knowing it's not going to be effective for you guys anyway?
well, whatever. Okay, so Dave, that'll be for a discussion, right?
I think it's very relevant.
It's related, but
It's related,
I
it's
do
very
get the point, you
relevant.
can't make it effective now, so
Yeah.
otherwise,
So we'll discuss it next committee meeting.
it doesn't faze me as much about the timing. I want it to be out there and know that the intent was, if this continues forward, it allows for, if you go back to 4 meetings a month, everything's right back where it was anyway, so.
Okay, so we'll just table that.
Yeah, let's
So-
bring it to committee. I don't-
Okay, Pat, would you take the vote?
Trustee Kim's,
No.
Trustee Clayton,
Yes.
Kimsey,
No.
Boyle,
Yes.
Lindhorst,
Yes.
and Scarman.
No,
Okay, motion 3-2.
Since this is in the ordinance format, you would need to vote also.
Okay, I vote yes. Okay, next item is risk management.
This is, or I'll make a motion to put this ordinance on the table.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Dave
got a
Feature,
delay too.
Okay, discussion.
Yeah, this is the ordinance to accept the bid for the risk management insurance program. The proposed ordinance in front of us would have the village accept Illinois County's risk management trust insurance program for the calendar year of December 1, 2015 through December 1, 2016.
Discussion.
The other thing that points out is it allows us to pay the first part of the premium before next warrants. So that's one of the reasons that that's set up like that. Because we have to have the insurance plan in place by the first.
Okay.
So, we were on a family vacation last week, so I didn't get to make the point. One of the things I want to make sure that we are considering is moving to the fixed rate plan. The one spot that we are giving up is the benefit of controlling our risks, essentially, where there was a premium return. Now, the revised numbers kind of trump that benefit up as I look through and put everything there, so it's not as big of a concern. The probable savings could have been about $11,000 or $12,000 for the next year, assuming
There's no
you stayed
assuming.
at the minimum. Over the course of the last 10 years, and the best I could do is the CMRT is about 6% more than the minimum contribution for IMRI. So just using that as kind of a base, it looked like over 10 years, we may have saved about $2,000 with the risk component added in there. That could have been a substantial more cost. So the other benefit you give up is if you budget a max to the max contribution and incorporate that in your budget every year, as the most you would pay for insurance, it generates a built-in savings account. You're giving up the ability to do that. I would have made those points last week, but I was probably on Space Mountain. We were stuck in an airport at that point. So
I attempted to.
not nearly as far.
He did make those points last week, and I think after they did their presentation, I mean, I think, what we had decided was, the change is good to see what we can get from it. It doesn't mean we can't go back. But at the same point, we're looking at what they can do, so if they don't do it, we're not there, but
But
let's see.
I don't get hung up on the change for change sake. The revised proposal, when I did all this the first time, I didn't have the revised premium numbers in front of me. That after they adjusted all of the property valuations, that changed what I would have recommended with the revised premium, but I didn't get those until I got back into town, so. That's all I have.
Okay, Pat, would you take the vote, please?
Trustee Kimsey,
Hey, would you guys just be clear on which one we're voting on right now?
The county.
Here.
County.
We are voting on the ordinance approving the risk management insurance carrier.
Right, but which carrier?
The county.
That's
Risk
CMRT.
management group.
Yeah, the Mesero.
Okay,
okay, trustee Clayton,
yes.
Kimsey,
Yes.
Boyle,
Yes.
Lindhorst,
Yes.
and Scottleman.
Abstain.
Okay, let's see. The police chief search. Have you,
I think we were supposed to have that in exec session, narrow that down, weren't we?
yeah, but it's not on for exec.
Do we?
Jeff and I were talking about, can you guys just email me your selections and then we can.
It's up to you guys how you want to do
Do
it.
you want to do it that way? And then we can,
Well, I kind of wanted to get everybody's discussion and they talk, just to see everybody's points.
You can still go
Can we-
into closed session tonight and
Can we revise the agenda?
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be on the, yeah, so. We can
Well, then-
do that at the end of the meeting.
Let's pass it. and-
I will make a motion to revise the agenda to put on there an executive session for personnel.
I'll second that.
Pat, would you take the vote?
Trustee Clayton,
Yes.
Kimsey,
Yes.
Boyle,
Yes.
Lindhorst,
Yes.
and Scottleman.
Yes.
Okay, new business. The levy, the tax levy.
Make a motion to put the tax levy ordinance on the table.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yes, I'm gonna make a motion to amend the levy. I know we had a big discussion last week regarding the NASB 67. It's not a requirement, but the note on there. And our actuaries say that that is $72,914. So my motion is to reduce the pension levy to $437,366,000 and increase the public safety employee salaries and overtime levy by that same amount, up to $430,734. So I put that on the table.
Is there a second?
I'll second. We can have the discussion.
Okay,
And
discussion.
Okay, and what this is really doing is this is not underfunding the police pension fund. The law requires Chatham to put in $349,000. So even with this change, we will still be putting in $437,000, which is much higher than what the law requires us to. So this will continue to guarantee a stable, defined benefit plan so that our retired officers receive their full retirement benefits. In addition, this will allow the board to have the flexibility when we put it in that that general revenue for the public safety retirement and for public safety workers regarding their salaries. So I think this is a good plan. It's still going to maintain a stable pension system, and I think that's what we really want here in Chatham.
Was that a 90, was that a 90%?
That's at
number?
90%, that's 90% in 2045. So what that means is, in 2045, if we decide to dissolve the police department, absolutely dissolve it, and dissolve the pension the pension, and dissolve the pension, their pension system.
Would close.
Yeah, it would close. So it would still maintain that we would have at least 90%, if not more, in that system.
Anybody else have any thoughts on the subject?
Is the levy the only funding source we can make a contribution to the police pension from?
No. The employees themselves make a contribution,
Oh, the village.
and the village may make an additional contribution, should it be necessary.
I guess you'd have to do a supplemental program.
Correct.
Okay, Joe's motion is on.
Well,
Oh,
and I missed the exciting accounting discussion too. The difficulty with changing the target, so the source isn't as much of the concern as changing the amount that does get put in there. Lowering that is the concern to me. Even with the differences between what the state requires to reach a 90% funding level and the actuarial determination to get to 100% funding level in 30 plus years, the assumptions used in the actuarial report indicate returns of 6 to 8%. History has been showing on that fund 2.7%. And even as the fund has grown and has increased its availability of investment options, the Illinois pension rules kind of dictate, Public Funds Acts dictate, and severely limit their ability to get it. To me, a 6 to 8% return on that pension fund doesn't seem, readily available, and shorting anything less than what the actuary says at this point just makes it difficult down the line.
I mean, my thought is, we have the money this year. If we don't put in the full funding, it just makes it that much harder next year, the year after, and so, I mean, we may have, a future board, who knows what they're gonna be faced with, what kind of financial situation they may be faced with. But here, the responsible thing, I think, to do tonight is fund the pension when we know we have the money and our budget is pretty solid. So that's my thought on it.
I agree, especially with the GRF surplus.
I agree too.
So the motion.
Thank you for doing that, Sherry, and getting those numbers together for us.
Jody, you want the vote on your motion?
I know we have a motion and a second, so.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, Pat, take the vote on
Trustee
the
Kimsey?
90 motion.
No.
This is for,
90%.
Decrease it.
The decrease.
Trustee Ball?
No.
Lynn Horst?
no.
Clayton.
I'm sorry, Trustee Clayton?
No,
Okay, that motion fails.
Joe Scott?
Now
Yes.
the motion for 100% funding.
well, and I think the big thing on this is it doesn't increase the tax levy, and we accounted for this in our previous budget process.
It's what's allocated stays the same for the process.
Correct.
Pat, would you please take the vote on the
Trustee Clayton?
100% funding?
Trustee Clayton?
Yes.
Kimsey?
Yes.
You say yes?
Yes.
Ball?
Yes.
Lynn Horst?
Yes.
And Scarlett?
No.
That passed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, the abatement ordinance.
Make a motion to put that on the table.
Second?
Any discussion? We do this every year.
I
Yeah.
think we've discussed it.
Okay. Pat, would you take the vote, please?
Yes.
Oh.
Mark's right.
Earlier you guys, so I'm just going on back here.
Dave?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Nina?
Yes.
And Joe?
Yes.
Okay, and then the administrative assistant salary.
I'll make a motion to put this on the table.
Second.
Discussion.
Who was the second, please?
This is,
Nina.
Nina. This establishes a salary for the administrative position, since we had split that dual position before. It establishes a salary range and a current salary.
Any further discussion? Pat, would you take the vote, please?
Trustee Clayton?
I'll discuss.
All right, wait a minute.
Hold on, wait.
I'll discuss. I've got a problem with taking a current employee and reducing their salary by 15% when you say you split job duties, but allocations, were added to, put in additional duties. And I feel this is further compounded when our previous public works director retired. In lieu of replacing that position and the $90-some thousand salary that it carried with it annually, we had 4 employees that assumed all those job duties, including this person, with no additional compensation. Now to say that we removed a few duties on top of everything that had been piled on, and your reward for that is a significant pay increase or decrease, it's unconscionable.
Yeah, it was about 15% that we removed from her, so I think that was kind of the allocation that we arrived at in the discussion. And I know that you were on Space Mountain for that discussion, but that's the arrangement that we came to, so.
My opinion's been clear on this from go, and I don't think it has anything to do with job performance, job duties, history, and the commitment that's been attributed to this employee. It's got a record with no discipline on it. It smacks of being personal and spiteful.
Well, I think there was disciplinary action that was taken against this employee. And, since we had discussed this, if we want to discuss it out in open session, it went back to this employee had tainted the village administrator hiring process.
Is this appropriate?
In a sense, well, it's been opened up, it can be discussed. And it can be discussed anyways. But she tainted the administrative hiring process. A lot of people had questions about that and sent emails to me in regards to the conduct, and to other trustees in regard to the conduct. I think as trustees, we handled this appropriately and how we did handle it. In a lot of situations, the actions that this employee had taken probably would have created a termination, given the situation.
I continue to disagree.
Rather than doing that, we felt that we need to take the HR duties away from her because she was not responsible enough to act in that capacity. So we split the title and decided that we need to have someone else, whether it's a contractual person or whether or not it's a full-time person that we bring back into that HR role, handle that. And a reduction of 15% to go to an administrative assistant position, which was already part of her title, which, as we discussed, was about a 15% withdrawal from her HR duties of what she was handling, brought her down to this salary.
And then the accompanying job duties added an additional 20% of time, 15 off, 20 added, plus everything that was assumed.
Which we did take in part. I mean, she is, if you look at administrative salaries, which we all were comparing, it was 35,000. You're looking at comparing to 40,000 for Springfield. I'm not done. And if you want to get into HR, at that point, we had said because of the great work she has done and the seniority that she has and the part-time that she's put in here, that was put into that salary. So that is, she's no longer in a leadership role at this point.
I think what happened is one person asked a question or expressed an opinion that wasn't agreed with, and this is the end result of expressing an opinion that wasn't shared by everybody.
I disagree.
Any other further discussion?
Okay, Pat, would you take the vote, please?
Trustee Kinsey.
No.
Boyle.
Yes.
Lindhorst.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Clayton
Yes.
and Joe.
No.
Mayor, you need to vote?
Mayor?
No. So it's a tie, right?
Well, since it's an ordinance, it requires 4 votes to pass, so it would not pass.
So it's back to the drawing board?
Yes.
Okay. Or we can repropose it at the next meeting. All right.
Okay, let's see. So, Pat, you have a report tonight.
The road appears to be done across the street. The gutters still need to be put on. And I think Sam said there's a little bit of touch point that needs to be touched on. But other than that, it appears that they've done a fine job. And I've got about $1,100 in bills so far, and I think he said he had just a few more, so it was well under our budget. Wow. I think the railroad was going to pay for putting the new tops on the chimney.
Kudos to Sam for lining all that up.
That's great.
Certainly.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm gonna get off the line here. I can't really hear much, so I will follow up with Pat on the report, but, and I appreciate everybody's time, but I really can't hear much right now. I don't think it's conducive for me to stay on the line.
Does he want back in on the executive session? I can move that into that other.
We can move this into executive session, Mark. Do you want back in on that?
That's fine, I really can't hear much. I'm trying to follow along on the internet here, but I can't hear much of anything.
We will try to reconnect you when we go into executive session to discuss.
That'll work.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This Friday is the deadline for the engineering proposals. They're starting to roll in. We have had pretty good luck on applicants for our building inspector for the framing. And this Friday, we're supposed to have the last of the ones for mechanical. I think even Ryan has looked at least one person for electrical, so we have a possibility of filling all the positions. We just need to find out whether they can carry the insurance coverage. I think that's it.
Okay, so before we go into executive session, the committee of the whole meeting will be January 12, 2016, and then the next regular village board meeting will be January 26, 2016.
Second.
Thank you. Just wanted to let you guys know that Officer Leach has put together a food drive for the local food pantry here in Chatham. It's going to be our first annual. It's put on behalf of the Chatham Police Department. It'll occur, and we worked this out with County Market. It's going to occur this Friday from 4 to 8, and then Saturday from 10 to 2. So we'll be collecting canned goods for all of the local food pantry here in Chatham. So just want to bring that to everyone's attention.
And close to $200 for No Shave November, going to cancer research.
Okay, thank you.
You guys all look much better.
Thank you.
Okay.
Who made the first for the executive session?
I'll second that.
Who made it first?
Joe did.
Okay. Motion to go into executive discussion to discuss personnel matters. Pat, would you take the vote?
Trustee Kimsey?
Yes.
Kimsey?
Yes.
Boyle?
Yes.
Nina?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Mark was gone.
Are we going to do any business when we come back?
No.
Real quick. You don't have to.
The thing you were talking about, 3,000, 6,000 for the compensation,